collar sights on the back of it hadn't gone to the A3 style peep sights. It was literally a month away from when they switched that in Remington. Most likely, from what I read, went to the Pacific, to the Marines, and that was probably the reason why the inside of that bore looked like somebody had sandblasted it and then dumped acid down it. And they say primarily that was the case. Not that the outside would rust from salt air, but it was the inside because they would oil the outside.
Yeah.
When you're fighting, you don't stop to oil the inside. You just keep shooting. And anyway, so the original barrel I had to replace. I still have it. And you can still shoot it, but it didn't shoot for anything. But fun piece of history to own and to shoot.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you, buddy. And I want to welcome Moondog on here. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. Howdy, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Great.
He needs a howling at the moon intro.
There we go.
Well, all righty. Well, we'll get to you in just a minute, Moondog. We'll go ahead and go across the board here. And Mark, you're next, bud.
You muted, Mark.
Muted.
You're muted. Pulling a hillbilly there.
Yep. Sorry, I stepped away. I had to help my son find something. I missed the topic.
Oh, okay. We're just going to name some of the guns that was used by the service. Older guns up to modern. And see what just go ahead. We'll tell you if it's already been talked about. But yeah, we're just going to do one because we know like there's several people in this panel that can just name, dang near every one of them out there.
Anybody pick the 1911 yet?
Nope. Go for it.
All right. Well, that'll be mine.
What did you like about the 1911 when it comes to the service?
Oh, thing just runs. And
Amen.
Makes a big old hole.
Yes, it does. It hits like a truck.
It does, no doubt about that.
It shoots smooth.
It does.
All righty. Well, thank you, Mark. And so, DJ, we'll jump right on over to you, buddy.
One of my best high school friends, fellow drummer, joined the Navy, and he was part of the crew that serviced and maintained a deck gun called the Sea Whiz. And it was one of these, I don't know, it's an outlandish rate of fire that it has. And he related to me a story when they were going through training. The first time they saw it working was there was a plane towing a dead plane, just a husk kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they targeted it. Yeah, they targeted it, and it like crept up from the back all the way through. And the targeting system was one of the things that was new at that time that made it that precise. So basically it chewed it from the tail all the way to the front. And then the tether just dropped down. And I think maybe along with that, I'd like to add another, if I could, and that's any land or sea-based cannon, because we got to remember that it's not just the modern era; it's those things that provided the pathway for the freedom that we have. So I want to reach all the way back to that.
Awesome, yeah, that's some cool stuff right there. And man, I just want to thank Travis T. Thank you so much, buddy, for becoming a member. We sure appreciate that. I mean, I know I do. And we try to give some great perks to members. We have a Tuesday night live that's just for members only. And, drawing and stuff goes along with that and some other, good stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for doing that, Travis. We sure appreciate it, buddy. And Mark, let's jump right on down to you, bud.
All right. When I was in, and especially after I got to Fort Jackson Permanent Party, they'd always call the rifles M16s. Well, I got to looking at mine close, and mine wasn't a 16, it was the 14. and I really didn't see much difference in either one of them. But they just, I guess the 16 was a newer version. And I want to go back to what Bubba said about that. I can't remember what he said the name was, but they called it the Jap, and it had the chrysanthemum emblem on it. My gun shop here in town a couple of months ago had one of those, and a guy had brought it in for the gun shop to sell. And I was in there looking at it, and I'd never seen one before. And the guy that owned it came into the store and told people there at the store, said he changed his mind. He didn't want to sell it, and so he got it and took it back home with him. Guess he had a little extra time to think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really couldn't tell, much difference in the 14 and the 16. And I think nowadays, full out auto, you pull the trigger back, and I think it just goes out in 3-round bursts. But back in my day, you put it on full auto, and it'd empty the magazine in no time short. I mean, just bam.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. That is neat. Well, thanks for sharing that, Mark, with a K. We got Mark with a C and Mark with a K. So, Moondog,
Yes,
if
sir.
you figured out the topic now, we were just talking about some guns that was used in the service, either from, the older days up to even modern or something. And so, can you name one, or something like maybe what may have been your favorite, if you was to shoot one or whatever?
Well, I haven't shot too many service rifles other than, well, I mean, I don't count an M16 since I've only shot the civilian ARs. Other than the M1 Garand, which is a really smooth shooting rifle. But I always wanted to shoot 1903 Springfield, since that was the rifle that I guess I don't know exactly, but I think that's the rifle that my grandfather was issued, being a Philippine scout. I would love to try one of those. I know that that's an oft forgotten rifle since it's pre World War I vintage, but I always thought those were really beautiful. And they were used as the sniper rifle of the U.S. Army for decades. So yeah, they were sharpshoot. I mean, they shot well.
Wow. Yeah, that's another great rifle right there, no doubt about that. And so mine, and I figured somebody may have said this before we got to it, but I didn't hear anybody say it, and if I did, I apologize. But mine is the Winchester 1890, the Model 1897, the shotgun, and that was also, if I remember right, it's kind of introduced in the Philippine-American War, I believe. Man, so yeah, I believe they said that wasn't fair. That trench guns, that Americans had an advantage with that shotgun, and I see it worked a little better than a bayonet. When for close quarters. So
especially with double aught buckshot, right?
yeah.
Goodbye to you. Goodbye to the 3 people behind you.
Yeah. When it works well when the other side's saying, "Hey, you're not playing fair with that," and so, and being a shotgun lover myself, so that was one that I wanted to shout out. Man,
so think about the Spanish-American War, Hillbilly. We had the 30-40 Craigs, the Craig Jorgensen, and the Spanish were using 7mm Mausers,
Mm-hmm.
and we soundly defeated them, as you you know history. But that's what turned us into developing the 1903 and later the 1917 was the fact that, you know, we whooped them up pretty hard and pretty good. And still at the end of the day, we're like, you know, we won, but dang, that's a sweet rifle, man. I got to have me one of those. And so that's one of the things that led to us being sued by Mauser was the 1903.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Since everybody's gotten through and done the list off of guns and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and go through this real quick. So, does anybody know who Hiram Maxim is?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who Hiram Maxim
Yes.
is, he created the first machine gun in 1884. 1884. I want you to understand that. A full automatic machine gun in 1884. And that gun is still used today. It's called the Maxim machine gun. It is still used today. Matter of fact, it was used in Ukraine. It's used in the Russian conflict with Ukraine. It's actually also used in the IDF forces still to this day. It is an amazing gun. It is one of the weirdest inventions ever, but one of the most innovative inventions. You have a barrel shroud that you fill with water to cool the barrel. And it still works to this day. And everybody still uses it to this day. It was made in 1884 and is still in service.
They reported at the beginning of the Ukraine war that Ukraine still is using them.
Yeah,
war.
Yeah, no, I mean they had like on tacticals or technicals or whatever. They had like 4 of them just sitting side by side, just mowing down the incoming helicopters and stuff for the Russians coming in. It's amazing to understand the innovation of something from back in the 1800s, late 1800s, but still 1800s, to make the first fully automatic gun. It was unheard of. And then that gun became the basis to create the direct blowback gas system, which created the MP40, the Peppershaw, all kinds of other different ones, the MP34, MP32s. All of them were derived off of something from the 1800s that was way beyond its time. You almost think somebody went back in time and taught the guy how to make a direct blowback system, almost. Like, to be honest. Because if you look at it, if you look at the mechanics, it's fairly simple, but ingenious. The blowback itself pulls up the round from the belt and injects the round into the barrel and fires, and then pulls that shell out, drops it down in a little hole. It doesn't pop out the side. It drops it down in a little bitty hole, comes back, and pops up the next round, fires again. And it shot an average of 460 rounds to 500 rounds a minute in 1884. Do you know how terrifying that must have been for the first person to encounter that?
Yeah, compared to everybody shooting bolt action or in some cases, trapdoors. And
yeah, everybody's got bricks in their head. Everybody's got bricks in their head.
Gun.
Yeah, you're not like there's no recovery for. I think PTSD started in 1884. To be honest.
Well, it started before that. But one major difference, Bubba, is that don't shoot black powder rounds anymore. So
yeah, but still, I mean, it's just amazing quality. Like to think something, and that's why I like guns. All right, that's why I like the history of guns. That's why I like mechanics and stuff. I like the mechanical portions of guns more than I like the guns themselves sometimes. And the Maxim's one of them. Maxim is just ridiculous to think the precision of milling those parts out. Now, there's no like CNC machines like we have today. There was none of that crap. This was just old timey, beat it with a hammer until it's straight, and then mass produce it that way. All handmade and just mass produced that way. That's crazy. And then you think of that innovation that also led to the M1 Garand and stuff of that nature. The M1 or Garand, my bad, since the Canadian man who made its last name was pronounced Garand, not Garand. But everybody knows what you're talking about, no matter what way you say it. But that innovation led to the birth of the AK-47, which some people don't know that. You take a M1 Garand out and you flip it upside down, the recoil system and everything is the exact same as an AK-47. And if you read any like Kalashnikov's books and stuff like that, that's what he based everything on. The entire gas stroke system, mid gas stroke system, all that stuff is based off the M1 Garand. The M1 Garand is based off of the Maxim, just to understand the quality and the progression of rifles. And the Garand is still used today, or Garand is still used today in some manner or form. Just like Mausers are still used, Mosin Nagants are still used today. It's still used in Ukraine. I've seen several M1 Garands, several. Heck, I've seen 303 British rounds being fired out there. I've seen Enfields on the battlefield out there in Ukraine, and they're still used today. That is nuts. That is nuts. Sorry, I kind of geek out whenever I start talking about stuff like that. My bad.
So, anybody else on the panel, kind of since we kind of went through them, is there anything that the panel missed or the side chat missed that you might want to shout out?
Maxim was a pioneer in suppressors as well.
Oh, yeah. Somebody went back in time, man. Somebody, they had to be a time machine somewhere along the lines, and it's just like, hey, there.
Do you think Michael J. Fox had anything to do with that?
Yeah.
You just see Chris Lloyd shaking Michael J. Fox. You got to go back in time. You got to go back in time.
Hey, Hillbilly, I hate to, but I got to bail on you, man.
Okay, no problem. I understand that, man. You appreciate you jumping on. You said you had been pretty busy, so I know you're tired. And thank you so much for being on tonight, Hasbro. I really appreciate you, buddy.
All right, thank you all, and good being with you guys on the panel. Good seeing the side chat, and we'll catch you later.
Night,
you want to shout out anything before you go, bud?
I was almost doing a video today until I got a squib. So we'll do that video again later sometime. I was trying to. Viejo was so cool. A couple of months ago, he sent me 90 grain zinc 9mm, which you don't know, that's the bullet size of a 147 lead. And so I'm shooting it through this pistol caliber carbine, and I'm starting with the lead. I didn't even get to shoot one round of the zinc because I had a squib. A bad primer caused me a problem. And so anyway, I'm gonna try to get back to that. But other than that, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. And guys, if you've not been to Hasbro's channel, go there and check him out. Subscribe. Great stuff over there. He's a great guy. So make sure you go over and check it out. And thank you, buddy.
Look for flags like that one, right?
Yeah, you betcha.
Got one.
Got one right there.
We'll see y'all.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye, bro. Good to see you, man.
So, was there any other guns that anybody wanted to shout out there?
Yeah, I've got one since I had an ancestor sword on my lap. What about all of the service revolvers, the black powder service revolvers, 19th century? I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in there, and reproductions. I chat just the other night. Pat in the Bunker had one out there. So like the Colt Navy, Colt Army, and like any of those sidearms. And how about this as well? I know that in the Civil War and in other conflicts, sometimes when soldiers arrived, they were bringing their own sidearms. And something that my father has and my great grandfather's is a single shot ball. And it's interesting to think that people got to march into battle sometimes with weapons that they took home with them, that they brought, and they took them home.
Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah, no doubt about that.
We can go through the progression of Colt revolvers if you would like, but I think that would get
it'd be at least a show or two right there.
Especially when we get into how the military messed up the Russian rounds versus the American rounds in their revolvers. That's another story for another time.
Now on the M14 I had there, Jackson also had a what they called an M203 grenade launcher attached to it, and during training it would be the rounds would be filled with chalk, and on the range we'd have silhouette targets out at different distances, and you'd kind of use Kentucky windage with some of them, wind's blowing one way or the other, and just kind of aim it like that. Now, live rounds, they go pretty well straight. Those training rounds, you know, you'd have to kind of fidget a little bit one side to the other, and you could see them curve while they was up in the air. They would just arc and then come down. A lot of fun to shoot though.
Well, all righty.
So,
We're
You
going
had an M203 a launcher on the M14? I've never seen that.
Yeah. Well, 14 and 16 were, to me, they were pretty much the same when I was in.
Oh,
That
no,
was
no.
it.
The M14 looks like an M1 Garand or Garand, but with a box mag. That's the M14.
No, the ones we had at Jackson, you'd have a, let's see, M16, and then
It would
you
have to
had
be an M16, yeah.
and then they had some marked M14s.
That's real. That's unusual. Okay.
Probably had to do with the barrel. Had to do with the barrel itself. Probably was the difference in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a lot of military. Well, you remember the different conversions for the M16. There was the A1 and the A2 or whatever conversions and stuff like that. I think they did the same thing for the M14, where there was ones that just looked like the Garand, and then some that just looked like M16, but they designated them M14. There was a lot of weird stuff going on in the military when they transitioned from M14s to M16s. There was a lot of weird stuff with that. I'll have to pull up the full history on that, but
The M14 was a 308, 7.62 by 51.
Right. That's why I
But
said it was probably switch out of the barrels.
It was basically the same thing as the Garand.
The markings on the receiver there of the one I had M14 on it, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Colt. I couldn't, you know, it's been 40 years almost, and the 16s and well, the 14s, they look basically the same. Might have been kit bashed or something. I don't know.
See, there's also the 30 carbines. People think sometimes people see the 30 carbine and they think it's the M1. It's not. It's completely different system. So like it was a weird time in the military. I'll just put it that way. But I'll bring up the full history and research it and let you know, Moondog.
But it was designated. It was designated M1 carbine, but it shot a 30 caliber, almost a pistol round.
Yeah, that's the one that we have is the 30 cal M1 that my dad had. Yeah,
shoots like 100 grain bullet.
Yeah, and it actually had the pop up sights on it, that adjusted and everything.
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool gun.
It reminds me of a Ruger 1022.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got M1 carbine replica stocks that you can buy to put on your Ruger 1022s now, and they look just like them.
Yeah, I'm tempted.
Really?
Yeah. All of those back after the war, they had, and like in the 60s, they had those M1 carbines sitting in barrels in every hardware store for $60, $65, and nobody was buying them. Now you try to buy one, particularly one with a popular brand that you would want made by like Rockola or somebody like that, and they're $1,500.
Wow. Man. Oh, yeah, it's been fun, guys. A lot of great stuff. Make sure you get your hashtag out there, hashtag veterans, and we're going to be doing that drawing here in 1 minute. So make sure you get those hashtags out, and we'll see who is going to win tonight.
Oh, I do want to make one correction to something I said, and somebody in the side chat corrected me on it. The Maxim was not a direct blowback. It was absolutely a recoil reloading system. It was a recoil-based system. I got that wrong, but it did help create the blowback system is what I meant to say. So I apologize for that misinformation. I worded that incorrectly, and I apologize.
We'll let you go this time, buddy.
Don't let me go. Call me on it. My gosh. I need to know I'm saying the right stuff instead of messing up.
Yeah. Yeah, and Justin said right there, there was a lot of stuff like helmets, knives, and shovels that was used. So
Yeah.
all righty. So we're coming up on 10:30 Central Time. So let's there Tommy Boy's jumped in, got his hashtag in just in time. All right. So let's pull this up. Oh, Tennessee got us. There you go. All right, guys. Make sure you get those late minute hashtags in. And I am going to be I searched and I was wanting to give away, a knife that had like American flag on it and stuff. And I just couldn't find anything that I knew was kind of good quality or decent quality anyhow. And so I am going to give away the thin flipper knife here, and it is a great knife. And anyway, so that's what you'll be winning tonight if you win this. And I'd searched for Smith and Wesson reloading from Hot Pot gave away last night, and I couldn't really find one that was like similar to it or something. So I'm like, well, we will just go ahead and give this away. We know that it works and it's a good knife. So anyway, let's wind this thing up, and we have 29 entries and get this thing a big spin here. Last night we had to do this 4 times before we got a winner.
Yeah.
Justin Graham. All right. He had just commented out there, so I am pretty sure Justin is out there. So, Justin, say something in the side chat, buddy, so we know you're here. And but yeah, last night when we did the Gizzard Takeover show, well, then on Georgia Shooting Connection, we had to take 3 times on there, didn't it, Jamie? And
Yeah.
we got over on after Georgia Shooting Connection, got over on the Val Territory Takeover show, and it took 4 times over there. So
There he is.
there he is. All right, Justin. So email me at AmericanHillbillyUp@gmail and give me the name and address that you want that sent to, and I'll get it sent right out to you, buddy. So thank you very much. All right. So Jamie, I know sometimes you have to jump off around here. You need to jump off. Are you going to stick around a little bit longer? Or?
I really need to be getting into bed, but I gotta say, Tactical Rabbit, that interrupted firing system is one of the greatest battle implements I could conceive, man. What he's talking about is a propeller plane and the machine guns shooting up the props, and they had it fixed where it would only fire in between the blades, and that was pretty cool, man. But anyway, Hillbilly, thanks for having me, man. Guys, thanks for letting me hang out with y'all. Side chat, thank y'all for putting up with me. I appreciate you. And if you don't know, check us out Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Georgia Shooting Connection. That guy's usually there, and Hillbilly's usually there. Moondog, we got to have you on sometimes.
Oh.
You're not busy on Friday nights.
Oh, I'll see what I can do. Usually, I'm driving my mother-in-law around or picking up my wife from work. So, but if the moon and the stars line up, I'll definitely be on there.
Well, you have an open invitation, and I know Friday nights at 8 o'clock on the East Coast is 5 o'clock on the West Coast, so it's right at
yeah, right in rush hour. I'm probably stuck on a freeway somewhere.
Guys, y'all go to church somewhere in the morning. Good night.
Well, thank you very much, Amy, for being on here. We always appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go easy.
Get over there and check out Jamie's channel, guys. JH586. Check it out. Get subscribed. And also, if you don't know the Georgia Shooting Connection, make sure you go over there and check it out and get subscribed there, too. Because a lot of great stuff there. No doubt about that. All right.
There's one thing I wanted to mention that I meant to mention earlier. So we was talking about, Craftsman and stuff like that. Mark is amazing. Brownworks is amazing. Guys, stop spending money on Chinese products and buy stuff from these guys. Buy stuff from Brownworks. Buy stuff from Mark. And Mark, 9 times out of 10, probably won't charge you that much, or probably won't charge you at all. Sometimes he's just happy to do it, happy to have fun. So definitely support the guys, the little businesses here in America. Don't support the Chinese conglomerates out there. Get yourself something that the screws won't fall apart on or break after a couple rounds. Get you something made in the U.S. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, all right, buddy. I agree with you. These guys are great. They do great work. I mean, no doubt about that. All right, dude, he's had to jump off here. Buddy, man, I hate that you weren't able to be on the panel tonight, that the connection was bad and stuff, but hopefully maybe you can be on Tuesday night or next week, bud. So we appreciate you being here tonight, each and every one of you. So, I mean, we really
Mike,
do.
can I say something to Moondog?
You betcha, buddy.
I've got the links right here. I've copied and pasted them right here. I'll check it out here after a while.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see something. Okay.
Yeah, I think I found what might be the M14 that Garage Guy had mentioned. Or it was the XM148, which the 8 might have been, worn off or whatever in the rifle that you got issued. But apparently that was an experimental M16 variant that was built to include the grenade launcher.
Well, the grenade launcher just more or less you could clip it on, clip it off. It just went on really easy.
Wow.
Let's not forget the parent of the M203, which is the M79. the original grenade launcher. For those who don't know which one that is the Terminator gun. That is the Terminator gun from Terminator 2.
Let me tell you something else that was really fun to shoot. I think they called it the M81 Law. It was a bazooka, I believe.
Did you get to shoot one?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, and the ones we had, they would make them to where you take one shot with it, and that was it. Training purposes, it was disposable. Then you had the others you could fire multiple rounds, multiple times. But as far as training purposes, one shot, they just cast it to the side.
Yeah.
Then they'd take it somewhere and have it reloaded,
Now, those actually gave birth to the, I call them quad boxes, but I'm probably wrong on their name. But what the quad box was a rocket launcher that would chamber the round, and it had four. You could load 4 into it, and it would chamber each one kind of like a revolver into each one of the barrels. And it would just constantly switch them out in and out. So you had 4 shots. I can't remember. I can't remember what they're called. I always called them quad boxes, though.
I always thought that was just made up for that movie Commando.
No. They actually did work. They just wouldn't put in the service because they had chambering issues. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. I remember seeing a law from Dirty Harry, right? Which one of those Dirty Harry movies?
So we're going to go through also another quick little top or question here, and then I think DJ is going to come up with a fun music topic for us to end the show with. So the next one is since Hasbro was on here and was talking about stage, and then he talked about it. Has anybody had a squib load?
It kind of goes without saying when half of the videos I started with was testing various rimfire 22s in my rifles. Yeah.
Mine come from my own reloads. I made a batch of 25 rounds because I was testing out Andy's Z, what is it, Z78 or something like that, Z28, 78 or something like that.
79 Z28.
Yeah, there is 79 Z28, and he gave me a bunch of 38 special zinc bullets. And I didn't know what kind of powder charge to use on them or anything like that. So I just kind of like went with what Jamie told me to do like half charge or 2/3 of a charge. And out of those 25 rounds, every last one of them was a squib load. I got tired of unclogging my barrel.
Did the bullets stay intact as you're trying to get them out?
Yes. I was trying to get them out of a revolver was the biggest pain in the butt I've ever done in my entire life. Because I'm just like, good God, get out. I literally could not air the video because I think I used every expletive I could possibly think of in that video. And I was just like, I'm not putting this on there. I was fuming. I was so mad. By the 24th round, I was just like, if this one doesn't, I'm just going to leave the bullet in there. I don't even care anymore. I didn't. I will say that I didn't. But, yeah. So I'm, like, really worried about the 450s I've loaded because just – oh. I think I'm the only – I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one of the reloaders here that uses H110 powder for 450 Bushmaster, and I cannot find any load data for the bullets that CW sent me. So I'm like having to guess a load. So I'm going to have to deal with a squib load in the 450 barrel. It's 20 inches long. And I'm going to get really aggravated. I can already feel it right now. It's so mad.
At least they're lead bullets.
Yeah, at least they're lead. I ain't going to, like, I ain't going to get ass mad, maybe. Who knows? We're going to find out. Zinc bullets out of a barrel is the biggest pain in the butt I have ever done in my entire life. Because, I mean, you have to hit them hard. And I'm just like, I don't want to mess up my rifle.
Oh, man. I'm very fortunate that I have not. And, but, well, I have shot reloads, but not as many as a lot of other people do. Now, I've had mainly 22, strike, not go off. I mean, just, end up, just jacking them out and going on to the next one. But that's been about it. I think probably the worst thing that's happened to me was I was probably 12. Well, I was probably 13, maybe 14. But that little Ifka lever action single shot 22 rifle that I have, and I do remember it was a Remington, and but the on that rifle it's got the drop block that angles down, and then you put your one shell in it, and then you cock the lever back up, and it shuts. So your face is up there fairly close, and thank goodness I had some hardware on, but when I shot it, the back of the cap blew off of that, and like it, kind of just dusted my face a little bit, as it shot, and it went out the barrel and everything. But yeah, that kind of scared me there at that age, no doubt about that. But that's about the closest thing that I've come to.
I had a squib load out of a Sky CPX2 here a few years back. I was getting ready to do a video with my buddy Joe. He's here on my channel sometimes with me. And we were over at his place, and we was going to use several different brands of ammo to run through that pistol. Everything was going so far so good, no problem whatsoever. And then I remember a few days earlier, Walmart was having a sale on Federal aluminum cased ammo. It was like $7 a box, for 50 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and my Glocks, my Smiths, everything I got, my Tarses, they all ran it great, no problem. I figure, well, I'll try it through that Sky. And so we filled the magazine, 10 rounds, of course. First 2 or 3 rounds went off fine. Just Joe's hitting the bullseye. He's a really good shot. And then about the 4th round, we heard a funny noise, and it ejected the spent shell casing. And I was like, Joe, we better check this. And so we removed the mag, pulled the slide back, nothing in there. Then we took it apart, and lo and behold, in the barrel was a bullet. I'm surprised the daggone thing didn't blow up.
Wow.
And then here's what got me. Usually I research any firearm I get or I'm interested in. I'm thorough with it, to make sure there's not any common problems. Well, I go to the Sky website, and it's like aluminum cased ammo is not recommended for their pistols. I'm like, find time to find out. But it really bothered me, I didn't want to, Joe could have really got hurt on that, even though he was wearing eye protection and hearing protection, Got lucky.
See, yeah.
I have not had a squib round problem. When Hillbilly was talking about, rim fire and just like going, okay, on to the next one sort of thing. I don't think I ever thought about that when I was first learning about firearms, that I needed to wait to see if the round was going to go off sort of deal. So I don't know if it's luck, blind, stupid, or otherwise, but that's my contribution.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, speaking of rim fire.
Okay, there's
a bucket.
There's a culprit right there.
I've been after this for probably 2 years. My local gun shop had it.
Oh yeah.
I went
haven't
in
seen
there
that either in a while.
And I said, what do you want for it? And they're like, well, we just got it in. We ain't decided on a price yet. And so they didn't put it on the shelf. Time went by. I'm like, where's that bucket of 22s? And they're like, oh, fella laid it away. Well, he never did come in and pay for it, So they brought it back out finally. And I said, look, what do you want for it? And they're like, well, we ain't decided yet. And I'm like, my God, you've already had it laid away. They're like, well, price going up, price going down. It's a brother and a sister and one of the friends that run the gun shop, good people, but on some things they can't decide, what to charge for something. So I let it go. And then they finally put it up in the back, just didn't bother with it. And then I went in there one day not too long ago, and I'm like, there it is. I said, look, I'll give you 75 for it. And then they wanted 100, and we ended up at 85. So I just bought it 1,400 rounds, $85.
That's pretty good.
I love some 22.
That's really good. Well, I haven't seen it in a while because, since before COVID. So,
yeah.
Well, it's hard to tell how long this bucket might be 5 years old for all I know. Might be older than that, might be newer. I don't know. But I like sitting here looking at it and saying, oh, look at this. Remember the shortage a few years back? You couldn't find this stuff nowhere. I I learned from that shortage. And amazingly enough, the day after Trump got elected, ammo just seemed to come out of thin air at Wally World and everywhere else, and I'm like, I'm stopped. And every time I'd go to Wally World, for whatever reason, I'd make my way back to the sporting goods department, and I'd buy 4 or 5 boxes of assorted different ammo, and it paid off.
Well, that should do you well. That's the golden bullets generally cycle well. They don't group so hot for if you're doing target stuff, but it's actually one of the few ammos that's recommended by if you get a 22 conversion slide for your Glock. They only recommend the CCI and golden bullets, so it should work.
Real quick, I want to say goodbye to Michael Dunn and hello to MCK. So sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're all right. I've never had problem with the Remington gold bullets. Once in a while, you might get an underpowered round or something like that, but I've been fortunate.
A couple of times I got like a dented one, but that happens when you got in a big bucket like that. And they take it out of the truck or whatever, and push it in the back of the storage and whatever. So that's what's going to happen when you don't have it in a nice little box with a little individual, holder for each round. But it's a good price.
Yeah,
you bet.
I really wish Rock Island would put out a revolver chambered 22 LR. I got the little 38-206. I love that thing. I wish they'd put one out in 22 like Taurus did.
I'll mention that to them at SHOT Show.
Huh?
I'll mention that to them when I see them at SHOT Show.
Oh, okay. I'd appreciate that.
So up next, guys, we have another topic here. DJ, you want to go ahead? I put the banner up there. Do you want to go ahead and cover this, buddy?
Yeah, I was just thinking when Hillbilly asked about that any song that you would associate with the military or service kind of thing, it doesn't have to be anything real specific. And I'll kick it off by saying the first thing that came into my head was the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I mean, I am stuck in the Civil War era tonight, I guess. So Battle Hymn of the Republic, and I had a fascination with Vietnam starting when I was in junior high, and I read just anything that I could. And I was also a fan of several of the movies that were done about that conflict. And so the Rolling Stones' Paint It Black is one I always hear in my head when there's something, when I think of Vietnam where someone refers to it and music itself together. And I guess the third thing that I think about when it comes to that, and that's also based on Vietnam experience, was the Adrian Cronauer story in Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams. Really, really like that film.
Great soundtrack.
Really great parts as well. Hell yeah. So that's what I got. Like Garage Guy, what do you think of, or maybe something even that you really got into when you were serving?
Well, at Fort Jackson, when I was there, Frilly's Comet put out a song called Rock Soldiers.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't have nothing to do with the military. As a matter of fact, it was about a car wreck Ace Frehley had been in. But, the way they was doing right before the guitar solo, you'd be hearing them counting off cadence, hut 2, 3, 4, rock 2, 3, 4. And a lot of the basic training platoons, they was marching to that, and whoever was calling out the cadence, was calling out the words to that song. And I'm like, okay, and I about heard that everywhere I went on the post at the time. Usually it's other songs would be, the general songs, like you mentioned, Battle Hymn of the Republic. There's the Ballad of the Green Beret.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Ballad
Was
of
that
the Green
Sergeant?
Beret.
Yeah, Sergeant Barry Sadler. Was that the? Yeah, I think that was him. Yeah, I've seen copies of that in used record stores, And there he is, bold on the cover of the album. He's got his beret pulled to the side. Yeah, right on. I'm glad you remembered that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, my mother and father had that album, and I can't remember if it was him singing it or if it was a cover version, but I remember it very vividly.
Right on. Hey, thanks for that, man. Like Moondog, what do you got?
Yeah, just want to follow up with what Garage was saying. Like that was one of the songs I was going to bring up because that's one of the few songs that was sung by a member of the military that was like a top 40 hit nationally, right? Ballad of the Green Beret. For you young kids out there, you should Google that song and see it on YouTube. But
Yeah.
but the other thing that you sparked me on there, Garage Guy, was in terms of cadence. It totally just it came Stripes. Do what diddy dum diddy do.
Yeah.
That was an awesome use of that song. Yeah, another great thing for you youngins out there to Google on YouTube to watch Stripes.
And Moondog, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take Bill Murray and I'm gonna roll it over into his performance in Caddyshack when he's like his character. You know the character I'm talking about.
Mhm.
He actually recites lines from Ballad of the Green Berets in that movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So that's awesome. Hey, Mark, right above, man. What do you got?
I'm going with Ride of the Valkyries from Apocalypse Now.
Oh wow. Excellent. I mean, blown away by that. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great seed. Charlie Don't Surf. I love it. What about something else, man?
Nope, nothing else right off.
Right on. Didn't want to not try to overpressure. Say, Bubba, I know you got more than a few, man. Lay them on us.
All right, so number one. No, actually, these two are tied for number one for me. The first one is One by Metallica. Of course, we're always going to remember that song. That is a dedication directly to the Vietnam War and to World War II, matter of fact, in that era, in that bygone era, in between World War II and the Vietnam War. Just because it was based off of Johnny Get Your Gun is what they used in the video. So, yeah, it was definitely in between those times. We've also got second place, but not too far behind, One by Metallica. We have The Rooster by Alice in Chains, which will always be one of my favorite songs. And it was definitely Vietnam. And Duffer 426 just said it, CCR, Fortunate Son, which I'm convinced they ever try to take people's guns. That's the song they're going to hear when they knock on the Vietnam vet's door. Along with This Is for Waco, but and a Barrett 50 cal going off. But anyway, so got those two songs, and always, I'm wearing one of his kind of a hat that he would wear. So Toby Keith, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, and American Soldier, and then a John Michael Montgomery song, Letters from Home.
Yeah.
Which that one brought me to tears whenever I was trying to enlist, because I was just thinking, it was like maybe I'll be able to associate with this, but I never got to serve, like I said earlier in the show, so never got to experience that. But Letters from Home really hits hard. I think it hits hard for a lot of our vets these days if they was to listen to that song, and it's just. One, it's just a beautiful song. Two, it's John Michael Montgomery. I mean, you can't hate John Michael Montgomery. I don't care what anybody says. You can't hate the man. And so, yeah, there's that. I got more, but I'm not going to list anymore just in case somebody else happens to list them.
Right on. Like in some circles, because I sometimes will dominate the mic and not slow down for minutes upon minutes upon minutes. It's called being DJ'd, and you are the closest competitor when it comes to talking about music with being DJ'd. And I do like to hear what you have to say, man. You got a wide palette that you draw from. So Hillbilly, Bubba's a hard act to follow. What do you think about it?
Man. Yeah, and being last here, oh man, about everything. So many songs that everybody shouted out. my first go through, I thought it was going to make it to me, but then Duffer kicked it out with CCR's, Fortunate Son. Of course, the Battle of the Green Berets. I mean, it just, but one of them really too that I've not heard mentioned yet is just our national anthem. And
Wow.
that right there, that song was written from a battleship, and
Mid battle.
it describes that vision that he's seen. And so, that just when if you not known the guy that wrote the national anthem, and we talked about this previously in other chats, read up on that, and and once you hear that story, then it'll all just click into place, and you're like, oh, okay. And luckily at a young age, we had a teacher that had told us all that, and read it to us and everything. So from a young age, that song, when I hear that song, I think of, America, I see red, white, and blue, stars and stripes, eagles flying, the whole 9 yards, that just, to me, that's something that really, really touches my heart. See, another one, actually, this ain't been said, Some Gave All. That's a good song. I mean, that's, that's one of them that's not been brought up that, is, I think of, and then, is it, my mind went blank. I'm just trying to sit here and think of it. Was it Poison or whatever? What's his name? Had a good song.
Brett Michaels.
Yeah, I think was it Brett Michaels that had maybe I'm misthinking here. I may be just totally misthinking, but there's another song out there that I cannot remember the name of and who sung it that really always kind of touched me. There's some more popping up in the chat. Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven.
Yeah.
Boots are made by walking. Boots are made for walking. Full Metal Jacket. One Quick Thing, Zombie and the Cranberries. I have not heard that one.
Wow, Unknown Soldier.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that song in a long time. Yeah. I was a huge Doors fan in junior high, and that was also connected, of course, to that era, late 60s in Vietnam, for sure. And, I'm so glad. I was like stunned when you brought up the national anthem. Like, it didn't even occur to me. So I'm so glad you brought that, and encouraging people to check out the story of Francis Scott Key and, how and when it was written. And I am sure that all of us at some point, I'm quite sure that all of us at some point have sung the national anthem and really felt the patriotism swell in us. I can remember when singing that song in elementary school, the story of the battle as it was told through the song. When it gets to the line where our flag was still there, I can remember being greatly affected by that and having a greater idea of what it was like to be patriotic at that point. And like we're doing today, honoring veterans, making sure that we continue to honor our country and understand the history, how we got here, most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. My goodness. Yeah. And, I love that you guys brought up the, a few movies there. Good Morning Vietnam, that was, and the music from there, but also, Fortunate Son falls along this, but, Forrest Gump, when he was serving, I mean, that soundtrack is still one up there, one of my favorite soundtracks, of that movie. And so, oh man, yeah, we're getting into some stuff here too. Holy Wars by Megadeth, and Man, Boomstick, I love you because I don't know why I didn't. I mean, I am one of the biggest Johnny Horton fans, and also Johnny Horton, "Sink the Bismarck" was another one of his songs, and "Soldier Girl."
Jeff over at Gun and Wild Ones listing off all the songs I was going to list off. That's why I didn't say them. That's why I didn't say them.
"Civil War" by Guns N' Roses. Yeah, Johnny Reb. Yeah.
There are significant portions. One band across 2 albums. Roger Waters might not like his politics right now, but he is in essence Pink Floyd. And on the wall, a lot of that was autobiographical, and there are mentions of his father's service, and then into the album, The Final Cut, which is not very well known. That has several really good tracks in it, and DM Foss and I have talked about the song "The Gunner's Dream." I would encourage Pink Floyd, "Gunner's Dream." Check that out. It is a solemn song. There is a lot of emotion in that, and yeah. I'm glad that we're coming around to a whole bunch of references for that. One, I can remember going to see Platoon and buying the soundtrack like the next day, kind of thing. On cassette, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Boomstick has the same cassette tape of the best Johnny Horton that I have.
Battle of New Orleans, that's a catchy tune. There's no way around it. It's catchy as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to list one more. I'm not going to list any more after this. I swear to God. Maybe I'm not
going to hold you to it. Going to hold you to it.
Don't hold me to anything. I never know when to shut up. But one song that some people don't distinguish it to be with military and stuff, but it's also one of my favorite songs. It's by Kansas. "Carry On My Wayward Son."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there'll be peace when you are done. So that's another one. And the Cranberry song mentioned Zombies. The Bad Wolves redid that song.
Yeah.
And it was originally going to be sung by the lead singer of the Cranberries, but she died 2 days before the recording.
Wow.
And they had it all set. They originally weren't going to come out with the re-release, but they got a note from her or whatever before she died or whatever that was sent in the mail, and it got the day that she died, telling them, "Yeah, go ahead and make that song. If I can't make it there for whatever the reason, go ahead and reproduce that song." So she really wanted it to happen. So Bad Wolves redid the song "Zombies." If you've never heard it, it is a very, very powerful song, and they did a good job redoing it. It's more of a harder rock version for their version, but yeah, it's still good, still rings true.
Right on. And I think I heard Moondog's voice in the background there saying Dolores O'Riordan. Was that you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good track. And I think Guns and Barbecue is out there. He and I have had a conversation about that song. That he's fond of that. So I love that we get to talk music every episode, Hillbilly. It just in the words of DJ Play Nice, get my own name out of my mouth there. Rock. It's just great to talk about music. Something we can all relate to that brings out, memories and emotions and everything. It is a significant part of who we are as human beings. I love it.
Yeah. And, that's something when it comes to music, vehicles, stuff like that, I feel like it's brings everybody together because, they can relate. Music has such a powerful sense or whatever that it brings people together. You're like, oh yeah, man, I love that song. I can relate to that song, and and you're like, dude, you listen to that band too? I love you.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got something in common. You're like, I had no idea that you listen to that band. And so it's just a great way to bring people together. And most everybody has opinions on songs, their favorite and stuff like that. So one of these days, maybe next week, DJ, we might do something. I'll let you think about that. We might bring up a verse or something with the music. We think maybe I don't like being negative on this channel, but I think we can make it fun. Some of the worst music.
Yeah.
You
All right.
know?
I'm
Yep.
going to be silent that episode. I'm going to be silent for that one.
Oh,
You've
that could
already
be
made
interesting.
mention several times, Bubba, so you've gotten a few of them out ahead of the discussion. That's great. That's a good idea, Hillbilly. Yeah, as long as we keep it fair and even, kind of deal. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Bubba's like, I know what Bubba's going to say. Yeah, I don't like any songs that have something to do with rock or something. They'll bring two birds that fight.
Well, ironically, most rap songs say Glock, so it's just like, I don't like most rap songs anyway. So I mean, that's all we got to go there. But man,
Hey, Boomstick wants me to call somebody out.
hey, wait a minute! It was
Shoot
only
the
a matter of
balloon.
time. It was only a matter of time.
Shoot the balloon, Bubba. Do it on a calm day, though, in a good bright light.
We'll do it indoors. I can't trust the wind out here in Kentucky this month so far. Oh God!
Moo's he's already gearing up for next week. Then.
Right.
I was going to say Asia, but they got a couple songs I do like, so I can't really say that.
Yeah, Mr. Bob has a nominee here by Leonard Nimoy.
Oh yeah, if there's another thing, YouTube. Thank God we have YouTube. We can actually look these things up. He's gonna say the Leonard Nimoy album. Try
That's
Shatner's
William
Shatner's version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh my God! Like I understand why, based on their celebrity at the time, that several actors have been offered that kind of thing. Do we all remember Don Johnson's solo album? The guy from Miami Vice.
God. I had managed to block that out from my mind until you brought it up. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just going to say this now, since I said I wasn't going to say anything, but since I got challenged to the balloon challenge, one of the worst renditions that a song has ever been done is Rocket Man whenever William Shatner sang it. And I'm just going to say that right now.
Wasn't that a spoken word album or something? He doesn't sing, he just says the words.
That's his delivery.
He's just like Rocket Man blowing out his fuse out here alone.
It's
like,
hilarious.
you're on his contract right now. What are you doing?
And I think it was Garage Guy. Were you about to mention David Soul from Starsky and Hutch?
Yes,
he had a couple.
David Hasselhoff did an album. Nobody around here even thought it was worth the time, but in Germany, they think he's king.
Uh-huh.
I will say his version of Rocket Man isn't as bad as William Shatner's. I will say that much. At least
the
his
whole
wasn't
association with
every word.
Yeah, the Berlin Wall, Hasselhoff performing at the Berlin Wall kind of thing just cemented that deal. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's kind of surprising, but I'm not sorry it didn't make it over here.
Oh, I'm not either, but it's like France. They love Jerry Lewis. Now, back in the day, he was funny to a point, but France, he was like King Jerry. Like King David Hasselhoff in Germany, the guy could have been the next Kaiser. Oh, boy.
Yeah, when you guys brought up Don Johnson, he grew up, went to school and everything. His family lives just 3 or 4 towns from me, which, I mean, around here is a distance or whatever, but I actually played baseball and stuff against his younger brother. And yeah.
Was he any good?
Yeah, he's a good ball player. Yeah. Yep. And Boomstick says, Bubba, I didn't challenge you this time.
Yeah,
But we know
should put
how
that
the
in
Bubba
place this
challenges.
time.
We know the Bubba challenges go. Sometimes they don't come out till the next season.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, look, here's the thing. I have the fly swatter challenge done. Like, it's all recorded. I just haven't edited it yet. I haven't had time. Like, the only time I've been getting has been, the time I get to spend with you guys. That's it. That's all time I've had last few weeks. And then to do the Wednesday morning chats, that's it. After that, I'm like swamped working on the farm. Just got all the harvest done, so I should be good this month. So I got all the harvest done for my brother's crops and everything, but jeez.
Yeah. Well, will you be able to get to this, or you think?
I might be able to get it next week. I might be able to. It just depends. We're
Mark,
going through transition right now.
You want to call out somebody else also in case something comes up with Bubba?
No, I don't have anybody in mind.
Don't have anybody in mind. And guys, if you haven't watched that balloon challenge, it's been fun. I'm gonna be going out and doing mine hopefully this next week if I can. But you don't have to be shouted out or challenged to do that. So if you want to do it, just do it and have a kind of video there where kind of lines up, kind of the rules or whatever. It's mainly just to have fun, so it's not a big deal, but if you'd like to do that, make sure you jump in and do it. And then if you watch that video, you'll see where you can put a hashtag, and that way it'll link them all together. And so you type in that hashtag, you'll be able to see everybody that does those videos. So anyway, Time Boy says Elvis was a good actor.
Fair.
But actors or singers, yeah.
I thought of another one, Eddie Murphy. Party all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man. And when you hear him sing, it's just like I'm glad that he had the boldness to do it, but the voice does not match the guy kind of thing. Like the first time you hear Mike Tyson speak, and it just doesn't match. It's just like disconnect. What's going on? Yeah, that was a good one.
No doubt about that.
I do want to make I want to make one statement of something that Gun and Wild one did, right? He mentioned Jim Neighbors, right? Now, Neighbors is spelled like how I think the word neighbor should be spelled. I'm sorry. I know I'm going redneck right there, but every time I hear Neighbors, that's how I imagine spelling it. I know it's not spelled that way for the word, but my God, that's how it should be spelled. Maybe a Y in there after the A, but it's still that's how I picture the word neighbors. But dear gosh, just like knife. Why's the K there? Why is it silent?
But Bubba, are you hooked on phonics? What's going on, boy?
Bubba says, Boomstick says, make sure you got some tannerite for that balloon challenge.
Oh, it's on.
And don't pick up a dancing. Don't get a dancing balloon like Mark got. Man, that thing. Make sure it's not on crack and it's not a dancer. So, you want to find one of those old tired balloons. That's been there for a while that ain't got much movement left in it. So
I think I know what I'm going to do. All right, this is what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to take a box, right, and I'm going to set the balloon inside of the box. And whenever I shoot the thing, right. Whenever I go to shoot the thing, it's not going to sway side to side. It's going to be boxed off right here. And the only thing it can do is go up. So the top's going to be cut out, but the side's going to be there. And I'm going to shoot it straight. You just see it with a bag over its head. Yeah, this was an ugly balloon, so I'm shooting it.
Well, oh, man, what a fun night, guys. This has just been a blast, and I agree with Michael down here. He said Mark's balloon was literally breakdancing, on the ground, spinning, doing all the. I think I seen it do the caterpillar or the worm once or twice too, So So anyway, let's start to wind this show up. Moondog, we'll start with you and let you
Sure.
plug your channel and stuff, and we'll just work our way across the bottom and around.
All right, so I've got 3 channels, but of course, since we're all into guns and ammo, you probably won't be more interested in seeing my main channel, which is Moondog Industries. So you can find that at Moondog Industries, and of course, you can find all my videos at moondogindustries.com. That I also do reviews on gadgets and things on my Moondog Reviews channel, and I just started Moondog Go, which is why I put my little name here is Moondog Go, because that's the new channel. It's all travel related stuff mostly in there, and just also events that I go to, like I guess travel and events, because I went to the eclipse recently, and so I filmed that.
Oh, nice.
So definitely tune in. Check out tomorrow. I'm gonna be posting up a review I did a comparison review between the Monstrum Banshee LPVO and a Sig Sauer Tango MSR LPVO, and just wanted to see how badly the Banshee would compare to the Tango, since that's the designated optic for designated marksmen in the Army now. So but actually didn't do as bad as I was expecting. So you should definitely check it out. That video is going live tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. on Pacific time. So hope you like it. Check it out. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think.
All righty. And guys, if you've not been over to see Moondog, go over and check him out, subscribe. And I'm going to share this because doing Gary's show last night, Gary does Gorn, where people sends in pictures of their guns and stuff. Well, looky here what Justin Grimm brought us last night. He says, I won this from Moondog.
Oh, okay. So he's the one who got it. All right.
Yeah, look at that, man.
That thing is a bright light. It's like a bright laser.
There. So not only Moondog got an awesome show, channel and everything, he gives away some great stuff like that too. So, make sure you go and check it out.
I'll do another giveaway soon.
Well, all righty. Thank you very much for being here tonight, Moondog. We sure appreciate you. And so, Garage Guy, what do you got going on, buddy?
Well, like I was saying last time, it's going to be mostly update videos, and I got a bunch of them coming up. But more importantly, I want to tell everybody in a side chat and anybody that watches the replay of this podcast, next week, Mike, number 50, we got to do something special. And in appreciation for letting me come on here, when you do the giveaway, I got several knives I'd like to throw in. We can give away brand new knives.
Oh, nice.
Man, that's awesome, Garage Guy. Thank you. That is awesome. So make sure you're not going to miss next week. That's for sure. We're talking about music we don't like. Garage Guy's giving away a bunch of great stuff. So, man, thank you very much for that, buddy.
Anytime.
And guys, if you've not went over to Garage Guy 879 Gilder and check out his channel, great stuff over there. You're not going to be upset at all. You're going to really enjoy it, and you're going to want to subscribe. So get over there and check him out. And appreciate you being on tonight, buddy. And here's some links here for Moondog's channels. So go over and check his out. And anyway, so DJ, what you got coming up, buddy? You're just busy all the time helping out the 2A community.
Yeah, I'm here, there, I'm hither, I'm thither. I really enjoy what I do. It's not work, it's passion. And I'm going to take a little dip before I make any, I try to roll out some suggestions for other channels to pay attention to. And that is, we have two comments are open. They have open comment periods right now that are related to our rights. And I need everybody to go ahead and check that out. We had a recent victory. I'm celebrating that like others are. but those two comment periods still exist. As G-Webs has pointed out so many times, the other side is clobbering our rights in those comments. The numbers are so skewed. I know that it's not the kind of thing we think about. It's not glamorous. It's not that much fun. It's almost quite the opposite. But please think about that. Go to the Federal Register. And I'm not able to drop links tonight, but if you want to get a hold of me, DJ Play Nice on Instagram, I'll throw you the links. Otherwise, others are also advocating that we do this. So I'm pushing that out. Please consider doing it. Saturday evenings on the A Great Start Shooting School channel, there's a discussion about mental health and suicide prevention, violence prevention. Brooke Cheney, she's been on the show before. You know her. She's vivacious. She's bubbly. She's fun to hang out with, y'all. Check out that show. It's just an hour before this one here, if you have the opportunity. Saturday late night on the DM Foss channel. It's either going to be a mouse party or it's going to be an overnight. Tonight, come and check him out. There's a good time just like this one to be had there, especially for you Pacific Coasters, because it's like midnight 15 or so, sometime after midnight here in the Central Time Zone. But it's a good way to hang out on a Saturday night late if you want to do that. On Sundays on the She Fires channel. And she's out and about in lots of chats too. If you haven't seen her or seen her channel, go check it out. It's just She Fires, those two words in. Sunday evenings, early evenings, she has the fireside chats. Been hanging out there for several weeks. It's a good time as well. Firearms and rights related issues, lifestyle stuff is being discussed over there. That brings me past the weekend and to Tuesday evenings. Y'all, I've been working with Guns and Barbecue for a couple of years now on his almost nightly firearms expo, and he's going to put it to bed. And so Tuesday is episode number 300. Please, all you guys, stop by. You know the guy. He's got a great sense of humor. He's had dedication. He's had those live discussions. Used to be 3 times a week on the Second Amendment and a Saturday discussion about barbecue. So he's going to take a step back, reformulate some stuff, and come right back with something new. But please come and celebrate number 300 of Guns and Barbecue Tuesday evenings. Until I see everybody again out there in the chat, you guys as well. Be safe, have fun, carry your guns, and rock. Thanks, Hillbilly.
Hey, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate all that you do for this channel, for all the other channels, the Second Amendment. And don't let me forget, when Bubba gets through, I will roll that video for Foss, okay, before we leave here. And so anyway, thank you guys. Go over to DJ's channel, give him a sub. He don't do much content on there, but hopefully he's going to one of these days. But give him a sub, support him, for all that he does. And appreciate that. And Moondog's got the deal up here, so where you can go to the Federal Registry and check that out. Appreciate that, buddy. And
yeah, Moondog, thanks for having my 6 on that, bro. I really appreciate that. I drop links all the time. It's so great to have somebody else out there who's just on point. So thanks, man. Thank you very much.
You bet. So thank you, DJ. And Mark Thomas, what you got coming up, buddy?
I don't know. got nothing planned. It's just, kind of whatever. I film stuff when I do it. I did get a new to me revolver this week, and got that out and shot it on Friday. That was a lot of fun. I'm still looking forward to doing some loading for it, so there'll be a few more probably featuring that. And we're starting to get time to be out in the woods, so you might see maybe a hunting video or two. But other than that, no great plans. We'll just see what happens. Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate you being here. Guys, go over and check out Mark's channel. Great gun content. He has content on there with him and his son. Also, just great stuff all around. He makes some awesome leather work, holsters and stuff that just second to none. So make sure you get over there and check him out, okay? And get subscribed to his channel. Appreciate you, Mark, for being on tonight, buddy.
Thank
We
you.
really do. So, Bubba, we're up to you, bud. What you got coming up besides a Hillbilly Bloom Challenge?
Oh, did garage guy go? I forgot. Did garage guy go? Was I like half asleep for that one? I don't know if garage guy went before me or not. I think
Oh,
we
I
skipped
done
over.
went.
You
It's
done
your
went?
turn, buddy.
Man, I'm getting blackouts now. I guess I don't know. No, as always for Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. I'm sorry you live here, Moondog, but for California, I believe it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, go check that out. Just talk about midweek wrap up for all the small gun tubers and stuff like that. I try to keep everything up to date, but trying to catch up to all the videos and explain everything and stuff. Sometimes I'm a little behind, and sometimes StreamYard likes to delete my banners for some reason, or YouTube likes to delete them. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, come check us out. Just have a little bit of a good time, and I like to ask the audience some stuff, kind of like we do here, just a little bit slower paced, because that's how I am. Like I said, got a couple of the 25 flies, the Frostwater Challenge and Day at the Range videos. I'm trying to upload, but I just haven't had no time to do them yet. I know I keep saying that. It seems like it's going to be a broken record. But I got that, and I guess I'm going to have to do the balloon challenge now since I got issued it by Mark. If it had been anybody else, I probably would have said no. But yeah, so got that coming up, I guess. Got some reloads going to be trying out for the 450 Bushmaster, some bullets that CW sent me, which, by the way, check out CW. If you have not checked out his channel, check out CW Long Shot. You will not be disappointed. That man is very, very knowledgeable, and he is a very, very dear man. He's a very kind person and would give you the shirt off his back if he could. So definitely go check him out as well. And also check out everybody else's channel. Before you check out mine, these guys are more deserving of it than I am. And as always, guys, stay safe, stay armed, stay two-way strong. Have a fantastic day, fantastic weekend. Keep getting at it. That's it.
Well, thank you, Bubby. You're very kind, buddy. And yeah, you can't tell Mark you don't want to do that. He's sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
So,
right there.
you reach over and slap
Right
you.
there.
Guys, go over and check out Bubba Tricops Ballistic. Great channel. You'll enjoy it. Great stuff on there. And make his live show on Wednesday mornings. It's always a blast. A lot of fun. Get over there, get subscribed. And I just want to thank you so much for being tonight too. And we're going to play this little video here for everybody, and then we'll be right back. Okay.
I am gravely disappointed. Once again, you have made me unleash my dogs of war.
Howdy, everybody. How y'all doing?
There has been too much violence, too much pain. But I have an honorable compromise. Just come join us. Saturday nights, 11 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Sunday metric. Just join us, and there will be an end to the horror. Just join us.
What is metric?
That's
What
the
is
best line.
metric?
So make sure you get over there tonight after the show. I think 30 minutes or so when it comes on. I can look here real quick and make sure. Well, I don't see it posted yet, so I may have to refresh my deal. But anyway, just after midnight Central Time, DM Fox show. It's a blast, a lot of fun, and I just want to thank you all so much for being here tonight. The panel, the side chat, everything was just so much fun. It was a blast. I honestly really enjoyed tonight, guys. We want to thank our veterans for your sacrifice, for your service. I mean, we love each and every one of you, and we just want to thank you so much. And we really do appreciate you. And saying that, I want to leave tonight saying, remember God, family, and country, and make somebody's day better, will you? It's not that hard to do. And if the good Lord's willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll all be seeing you again. I love you. We love you, Hillbilly Nation. Everybody say good